Ever since I discovered the hot pots, I simply cannot get enough of them. There are so many different hot pots on the market, and I really want to taste them all. There are some really good ones and there are some really bad ones. And today I'm tasting 4 best looking hot pots that I could find. Starting with something super fancy like self-heating fish steak hot pot spicy beef oil. I really want to look at that fish steak because so far it's advertising itself quite well. Removing a plastic film, underneath we have a paper that suggests what our food is, and also on top of that we have our way of preparation translated to English as well, which is quite handy. So what's suggested to do is adding cold water to the recommended level. After opening the packages and putting all of the ingredients in, and in the bottom box you're putting a sachet with the heating powder and pouring the water on top. Stacking 2 boxes together, closing them, and waiting for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes your product is ready. We see a clear box over here and plenty of different bags. This is everything that this box over here comes with. For the cutlery we have got wooden chopsticks and a spoon. Let's begin plating with this container over here. First, we're putting our vermicelli in. You know what, I also noticed that there is no water given to us in this packet. Normally it comes with water in most of the other hot pots, and this one does not have it. The vermicelli that we have is very thin. On top of that we're putting this cold bag that feels like vegetables. That's our vegetables and vermicelli closely. Now we're putting our seasoning oil. This is supposed to be a spicy beef oil. I definitely smell the spicy and I definitely see the oil. And last but not least is our fish steak. I'm kind of nervous about seeing this and I'm genuinely curious what it looks like. I mean, look, listen, this looks like a crab cake surimi, if I was to name it. That's definitely a imitation of salmon. At least it's supposed to look like salmon. It smells a lot like fish, but what we see on the inside there is some sort of filling patty as well, which could, for what we know, contain real fish. It does feel quite slimy and very dense. Now we're going with our big box and putting in there our heating bag. Quickly topping it up with the water. Now putting this container on top and also topping it up with the water up to the line. Let's quickly close it before it starts steaming. It does not necessarily seal too tight, but that's okay. I'm sure it's gonna cook well. You can see the steam is coming out of the side. That's because it's not sealed properly. Let's put it aside for 15 minutes and come back to it later. Self-heating fish steak hot pot with spicy beef oil flavor is here. Removing this lid and removing this top container, we're going to put it on top of the lid. This is our heating bag in the bottom. These trays always perfectly fit in this gap cut out in the lid. You can definitely see that there's not much soup. Most of it has been absorbed by the noodles already, but still looking at it closely, it does definitely not look that bad. This beef seasoning oil probably needs to be mixed in a little bit better because there are like chunks of it around. I feel like this dish needs to be a little bit deeper, so then all of the vegetables and all of the vermicelli would be evenly coated with the sauce and there'll be way more soup inside. I'll try my best and get a little bit of the soup on a spoon so then we can give it a closer look and then taste it. It is quite spicy and also tastes quite sour. I can also tell it is quite beefy. Let's unpack our chopsticks. Chopsticks are pretty average. They're not bad quality, they're not good quality, but they are very nice and smooth. Let's try our vermicelli first. This is a close up. It has quite a bit of seasoning on top, and when you are eating it, you're occasionally chewing on the chili peppers as well. They don't really add more heat to it, they just add more texture somewhat. Let's try this thing over here. It is very crunchy, but it's low-key tasteless, so I can't really tell if this is a seaweed or if this is a mushroom. In here from vegetables we have carrot, lotus root, and a potato. Let's give them a taste all together. Carrot is very nice and soft. Potato is very good and soft. Lotus root on the other hand is a little bit hard but not bad. And now the moment we all have been waiting for. Let's try this weird looking fish steak. Biting into it, it tastes on the inside kind of like spam, but it also is fishy. It's like a fish spam or something. I can't really say that this is meat, and I also can't really say that this is fish, but it tastes more fishy, but it has meaty texture. It's definitely edible, but this is definitely not a fish steak. Spiciness wise, on a scale of 1 to 10, this meal would be approximately a 7, I would say, or an 8. But honestly, despite the fact that it's very spicy, the flavor is really not that bad. It has that numbing flavor to it that I enjoy quite a bit. However, the main downside for me is the lack of soup in here, because I do really enjoy the soup in a hot pot, and this one doesn't really have much in it. And look at this beautiful and stunning crab mixed rice. This looks fancy, and this is in a hot pot form as well. Never encountered this before, probably never will encounter this again, but this is the fanciest hot pot I have ever seen. You prepare it in a similar way as the normal hot pots. But look on the box, even the box on its own looks really good. I never encountered a box before with such beautiful print. The box feels quite heavy. It is 290 grams. The lid sealing very tight. And underneath the lid we have all the ingredient bags and also comes with the water. Underneath we have more stuff. This is everything that this box over here comes with. Putting everything aside, we're beginning with our rice. Rice sealed in a beautiful matte bag. The rice looks pretty small and very clear and almost see-through. In the box it mentions that we need to add crab vinegar flavor last. And this is this small bag over here. So we need to put all the ingredients together, and only when the rice is ready, only then we're adding the crab vinegar taste. But in the meantime, we're putting our vegetables on top. This is the freeze-dried peas and the crab roe. At least it translates as such. This looks suspiciously nice. Kind of looks like a paste, but I also do wonder if it has real crab in it or not. It kind of does look like real meat flakes. Checking the ingredients, and to my shock and surprise, crab roe and crab meat powder are the parts of the ingredients. I honestly expected all of this would be just artificial, but it turns out that it has real crab in it. Let's add our rice water now. Now we're unpacking our heating bag, putting it in a box and pouring in some water to cover the bag. Now we're stacking these boxes together and covering it with our pretty and very fancy lid. Now we're gonna put it aside for 15 minutes and come back to it. I'm really nervous about tasting this one as I'm really scared of being disappointed by it. The rice looks super yummy. Let's have a look at it a little bit closer. We can see that our crab meat evenly spread all over the rice. The rice looks very soft. The peas look soft-ish as well. I'm not really sure if they're soft or not. We need to give them a taste. And now we have to add the seasoning liquid on top. It does smell look like vinegar, and I don't understand why I need to add it at the end, but this is what it says I should do. Let's unpack our spoon. I like that it comes in an individually sealed bag. It's very nice and tidy. That's everything including our vinegar. Let's stir it in. I'll still try this crab separately to see if it tastes any good. When enjoying this crab, there is little bits that remind you of shell as well, and also it tastes very crabby. Let's try both of these together, rice with the crab and also pea. The peas and some spots of rice are a little bit undercooked, unfortunately. Despite the perfect look, unfortunately this meal is not as perfect as I thought it would be. It does really not look bad. It does really taste very decent. Crab sauce almost makes it taste creamy. The flavor is incredible. Doesn't taste spicy at all. A little bit sweet and very meaty. And if it was to cook perfectly, I would definitely love it very much. Taiwan style braised pork instant rice. Braised pork anything, just give it to me. I love braised pork anything. And this one is Taiwan style. Not really sure what Taiwan style braised pork is supposed to taste like, but I guess we'll find out. It says on the preparation instructions that you need to put only 3 bags on the inside and then 1 after when everything is cooked. I don't know what that 1 bag is because it doesn't actually specify here, not that I can see at least, but I guess we'll find out. Removing the lid, we have very nice looking bag of water, and underneath of our container we have the rest of the bags. This is everything that this box over here comes with. For the cutlery, we have in here ice pork. Let's put our heating bag in a big container and then move on to our plating. I'm gonna start placing the ingredients over here with rice. Very nice and clear, but not as small as the crab rice was. Now we're gonna put our pork on top. Pork is very chunky. It does look kind of real, but also kind of looks like soy meat. If you have been enjoying my video so far, please give this video a like. Let's top it up with water. Everything is done here. All I have to do is add water over there up to the line and then stack another container on top. Now we're done. Let's cover it up and put it away. Let's get back to it in 15 minutes. Let's have a look at our Taiwan style braised pork instant rice. This box over here, unlike the other, smells quite plasticky. Over here we can see braised pork with our rice. Let's try braised pork on its own. Braised pork closer looks really good, very meaty and very saucy. This is actually kind of crazy. It falls apart like the real pork would. It's super soft and very juicy. The rice looks beautifully soft. And I tell you what, it tastes even softer than it looks. Now it's time to add our flavoring sauce. It's very thick and it looks like a sweet soy sauce. Let's stir everything together now. Stirring it all, it really feels like some spots really have the lack of sauce and they still have little bits and pieces of white rice. But this is the mix of everything on our pork. It's very soft, very smooth. Let's try it. This pork just falls apart, and despite the fact that rice does not look seasoned, it does taste really good. It's all evenly seasoned like pork, and it gives it added that barbecue hint to me. It's very sweet, it's kind of salty, it's such a good combination of all of this together. Meat-wise, I can 100% guarantee to you that this is a real pork in here. It has a texture of pork, it has a flavor of pork, it has different layers of pork, just like the pork belly does. The rice is incredibly soft, smooth, and almost creamy like texture. You don't even need to chew it that much, that's just how soft it is. It's beautiful. I'm honestly in love with this dish. If you thought the previous ones were cool, you have never seen this one. Instant Kung Pao chicken rice. This one also comes with the soup on the side. It is pretty insane and I'm very excited to taste it. We're supposed to get in here chicken, rice, and also soup. This is a 3-in-1 meal that I'm very excited to taste. This is everything that this box over here comes with, and this is a lot of ingredients. Let's get rid of our heating bag first. All we have to do with the big container is add water and that's it, and we're going to do it later. Now we'll move on to our main container that already comes with the bonus rice. Let's plate our rice in the middle container. I think it's going to look better this way. The rice looks very nice and lightly transparent as well as the previous ones. Little soup cube. This is what it looks like closely. It does not look bad at all. It looks very nice. It's a mix of dried egg and some vegetables. Let's unpack our meat. Kung Pao chicken smells very vegetably already, and it has huge chunks of carrot or something by the way it looks. Looking at it closely, this is our meat, our rice, and our soup. Let's add our rice water. I'll probably add all of this water to the rice itself. Then I'll use our unnamed water to split between the soup and a heating bag, unless if there is not enough. There's just enough to cover the soup. So that unnamed bag very likely was a soup water. Let's top up the heating bag with water. Now all I have to do is just close it with the lid and forget about it while this meal is entirely preparing itself. It honestly took like a couple of seconds for it to start boiling, so it definitely should not take long. Out of all of the cutlery that I have received, there's just this spoon over here and nothing else. I think I overfilled my soup because pulling it out, I spilled it a tiny bit inside of the rice, but that's okay. The rice feels very soft and super flaky. Let's quickly look at it closely as well. It still has bubbles, like everything is still boiling. It looks very tasty. Here we have our egg soup with some greens in it. It tastes really eggy and very green. I would honestly happily order just a portion of the soup in a big dish and just have it as it is. But now let's taste the star of this dish is chicken Kung Pao. There's quite a lot of sauce, some vegetables, and we definitely can see mushrooms. And this little piece over here looks like real chicken. The rest I think is just mushrooms and vegetables mostly. Let's put this on the rice, and I want to try some sauce on its own as well, as it looks very flavorful. It tastes quite spicy. I did not expect that, to be honest. Let's have this with our rice. Pumpkin definitely tastes very soft. Everything is incredibly well made, super tasty, and spice wise on a scale of 1 to 10 I would give it a 6 or a 7. Let's do something really fun and compare all of these hot pots right next to each other. I have also rated them my most favorite to my least favorite. My most favorite one being a crab rice, followed by a pork belly hot pot. Then we have chicken Kung Pao and a self-heating fish steak with beef oil. Despite the fact that this one was a little bit undercooked, it still tasted the best out of them all. And this one over here, would I get it again? Probably not. For the look, it is very cool, but flavor wise and value wise, I don't think this one is value for me. This one was the only noodle hot pot amongst the other 3 rice ones as well, and as we can see, they were all entirely different. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below if you have tried hot pots in the past and what you think about these hot pots. Please give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and check out my channel for more fun videos on food reviews. And I will see you in the next one.